Here it is. The credits came when I hit back. Banana chips and names. Surprising number of Europeans. Surprising, no. But I've gotten used to seeing a good mix-in of something that's certainly Eastern. Yeah. Not many Chinese named Patrick. Okay, now it's just getting over the top. They might not all be white, but I've been seeing some of the whitest names ever. Andrew Jansen, I mean, that's someone who burns. Donderwinkle. That could be a black guy, but it's definitely a Western black guy. Sean Connolly. I'm sure he hates that joke by now. Hey, look, a lady. Concept artist. I assume it is. Yes, I know. You have to make guesses. Angel Bedolla. Male or female? Huh. Don't give me any grief about the varying sliders. When you're doing commentary, you look for quick quips. Trying to be qualified. And allow for all of the varieties of humanity. That's great and all, but if you're trying to have fun, it kind of trips things up. Like, okay, Abigail. Whether that's a physical lady or identifies as a lady, doesn't matter. The point is, after a bunch of Pauls and two Pauls in a row. Paul, Daniel, Ray, Chris, Dorian, Chris. Yeah. I gotta look up the demographics of this country. Just in terms of distribution. The problem with women being represented is that it's hard to tell if women don't want to get into it because it's testosterone soaked, or because the game itself is testosterone soaked. I mean, this was a movie. This was a game about Bruce Campbell with a chainsaw shield as a space marine beating up hell. I'm not saying that doesn't appeal to any females. I'm saying that the overlap is not going to be in line with the general demographics of America as a whole. Just like I'm sure that if there would be a few of the qualities in all of these, male and female, that don't ever overlap with America as a whole demographically. It would be more subtle stuff like, I don't know, comic book collection or something like that. And now we're getting into the East. Eastern European, though. I need to read a book on this. The language, because I'm sure someone's done a study on it, but it's like you can guess with like a 90% accuracy at least whether a last name is Eastern European or Indian for that matter. but I don't know the formal word. Like Constantinus, that right there seems Greek. But why? I've got the instances, but I want to know more about the linguistic study, the written language. Like Stepanidis. Why does that seem Greek? Or why does this sequence suddenly appear Indian or Czechoslovakian? Is it still Czech? I have no idea what it is at this point. Czech, Czecho, Hungarian. Let's go with Romanian. I think that's in that area, isn't it? How large are those compared to states? Because you feel bad about not knowing about an entire country. But if it's the size of West Virginia, or hell, let's say Missouri. There's 50 Missouris around here. And I only know a little bit about them. Of course I don't know a lot about the Romanian. And so you end up feeling guilty and then angry that you feel guilty. Because you should know better. But there's so much to know now. I mean, even step 1, filter out all the porn. Step 2, filter out all the marketing. Step 3, go to Google and just say, send me somewhere. There is so much out there that's interesting. And then so much out there that's interesting and important. I mean, people say that we're getting stupid. Maybe so. But also, maybe we know just as much as back in the day. We just haven't prioritized the stuff that can be applicable to, societal interaction. It used to be that a large library was a couple rooms. Now every library has at least a couple rooms. I currently have enough books that you probably could form a small library from the 30s or 40s. The fact that they are to a particular few topics, I think, let's see, ones I can see right now: gardening, language, fiction, sci-fi. Let's see. Major physics concepts, HTML. There's so many topics that the idea that we're stupid needs to be put through the filter of, are we stupid, or is it just that people have way too much information about the Kardashians and current fashion? I'm not deriding people who are into it, but just think of any topic. Think of the people who know way too much about it. Then think about that compared to back in the day when all of the information was common. When it was, if you wanted to know that much, there was only so much that was available to be learned. Like, yeah, there were the people who knew more, the higher level mathematicians and stuff. But most people, it was, okay, yeah, I know 3 languages. That's because there's like 5 things to read, and you need to know Greek to read it, or something like that. We may be getting stupider, but we may just have too much information and not a good way of deciding what's worth it. And a society open to the idea that ignoring the stuff that's important and focusing on memorizing the list of, what's the word I'm looking for? The list of designers for the Met Gala for the last 25 years. And the various skirts and how they hung and whatever is just as important as back when, when all there was to do with that kind of focus was memorize Huck Finn. Machone. African? Or Michone, as in Nakabayashi? I mean, okay, going back to the previous one. That's Japanese. That's gotta be Japanese. If it's not Japanese, well. Anyway, my point is, why does that Ramanathan? That looks Indian to me. Why? Huh. Well, at least one reason. I'd have to check on this, but it seems like a lot of Indian uses only the ah. Not many subtle Y's in Indian names. A's and I's are really what show up really often. Everything else is a consonant. And that's the kind of pattern that probably has been identified. I should learn the names for it. Great, the HR people. Who's Zenimax? PFL, yeah, that's definitely Western European. Mm-hmm. Bruce Campbell. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, my eyes are getting worse. Izuna Dyke. Did not envy their childhood. They must have gotten some grief. Unless it's not... If they were in America. Probably not as bad if it was somewhere that didn't speak English. Do new. Why am I watching this? I'm letting it run out of technical desire, but... It's kind of a respect thing. Control is... Cleaning supervisor. Who was making him? Chef assistant... I've been losing track of things, but... and now we're cycling back to Bethesda. Didn't they do Bethesda? Okay, WNUK. I have no idea what the source of that one is. And back to Zenimax. Stop being schizophrenic about it, at least. Stick to one group, finish it, and oh dear Lord. And there must be other people. NES Europe. I'd love to see a Nintendo adaptation of this. Who decides who gets listed, though? Hiroshi Watanabe. So was that in Western order or Eastern order? Family name last or first? I think the Doomslayer should have just stayed English. He only says the one thing, right? Run. Whew. See, if I'm never going to hear the Italian version, why did... I'm sure there's... Okay, that's giving a little bit too much leeway. I wonder if this is a legal requirement or it just would have been a pain in the ass to do this for locals. And so they just included everything. Joachim Kretzer. Yeah, I did the voice for a suit. It just... Oh, Beard da Baba. Well, at least now I'll be able to say, yeah, it definitely was 10 minutes. I rambled about how people are sometimes stupid but sometimes not. And about how you can tell things. And then it just kept going. Oh, God, save me, Bruce. I'm not usually this obsessed with Bruce Campbell. It just seemed fun to focus on. Give my thoughts a little bit of a nucleus to orbit around. Oh, fudge pickles and waffles. What's going on here? Couldn't we have done this at least in parallel? You know, kind of like a spreadsheet? You got the entire goddamn screen to work with. It's not like you're distracting if you were to have 3 columns of the names. Yes, there's not much overlap between people who are interested about the voice acting career of Melissa Lucena. Wait for it. Wait for it. And Anna Stedner. Stedner? Point is, it's not going to distract. You could have had at least 3 going. Dear. And if you're saying, I need to see this in the credits, maybe you do, but no one else is going, except for crazy people like me, is going to see it. The longer you make it, the less likely people are going to notice it. Hoobadoo. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, yeah. Eastern European to I don't know what on these. Bartos Katana. That's an interesting. I wonder what the source of that is. Just because it runs parallel. I don't think that their last name actually is based on a katana. But I'd like to know the history of the name. Now it's the They've got the credits for the Xbox on the PlayStation. I want to cry. Now it's getting into the morbid curiosity of exactly how long this set of credits is going to be. You've already spent all of my respect. Now it's working its way into contempt area. Oh, this is going to be its own separate video then. It's not even being creative with it. No shots of the artwork or significant amount of music, although I did turn that down a little bit, so that might be the balance. I'll have to listen to the video, but God, how much Xbox? Does this mean there's going to be a PS5 set as well? Okay, we've been. Oh, okay, all right. We're gonna see which takes longer. My taking a relief leak, or the rest of the credits. Oh, good. I was afraid they'd only be halfway through the S's. I have a nightmare skin. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at things.